Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. It is the Kauffie Company. It is Tuesday, the 29th of April, and it is a wonderful 22 degrees centigrade. All wonderful weather, and it is, of course, the penultimate day of my 20s. It's the penultimate day. Tomorrow's the last day of my life in the 20s. Because, of course, I am 30. I am going to be 30. I am officially an old man on Thursday. It is the penultimate day. 2 days left, and we're going to have a good day. I'm a bit tired. I went and saw my uncle last night in the hospital in Holborn, and they're doing a very, very good job over there. And it was good to see my uncle. He's in good spirits, but bit nasty. It's not a fun thing to have. I'm a bit fed up of going to hospitals, to be honest, but it was good to go. Good to go to Holborn as well. I always like that trip to Holborn, and we're going to have a good time. We are joined by Mr. Daigle himself. He is finally back on his holiday, in the words of Bobby Kay. He's finally back on his holiday, and he's here. Aki, how are you today, sir?
Jet lag is kicking in. After I had to be up at 7 a.m. for my pre-op for my nose surgery in a couple of weeks. I had to be up. Yeah. It's kicking in, but I thought, you know what? Let me just spend an hour with you and everyone in the chat, and then I'll go back to Kip. The first thing I did when I got back home is called Bobby Kay and asked him, is this the number for the Toronto Tourism Board? And asked some ideas on this visit, and all good. But how are you, brother?
Good. It's, as I said before, it is the penultimate day of my 20s. It is the penultimate day.
Oh, shit, isn't it?
In 2 days, I will be 30 years of age. I will finally be able to have my Joey moment. Why not take them? Take them, not me. I get to finally have that moment. I get to be Joey from Friends. We're going to have a good day. It's lovely weather today. But without further ado, I've got my wonderful coffee here. I've got my iced coffee ready for the sunshine. Let's see who's in the chat to take us through the show. We're going to have a good chat today, like we always do. We have the sheriff.
Big up.
Is it going to bring up the comments? Apparently not. There we go. We got the sheriff YouTube member. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well. Afternoon, Ben, from the glorious sunny southwest. I had to see my dealer earlier for a daily cappuccino. Great stuff. Big up to them over at the Finca Coffee Roasters. Really good coffee company.
I didn't get to see Nick, man.
We have Nick's in the. I have not seen him. Nick's going to say, "Where was my invite?" Where was my invite? Well, you were in Cornwall, Nick. You were in Cornwall. We got Nick's in the house saying, smash a like for the Coffee Company. Indeed, support the Coffee Company. Support small businesses. Support local wherever you can. And let's support people that are trying to do the right thing. We have Angus. Good to see you back after the Spanish blackout. And good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well. I wondered why I didn't see Angus, and Will was wondering where Angus was, and there was a massive blackout in Spain. So
I didn't even know about it. So there you go.
Yeah, it was a nationwide blackout in Spain and Portugal. There was no electricity anyway due to the weather, apparently. So good to see you, Angus. Hopefully you're well, and I will not be saying that last thing. We got a Tavacron Wembley one. Good afternoon, all. Too nice to be working. Indeed. We have Stu Boys in the house. Good to see you, bud. Hopefully you're well. YouTube member. Hopefully you're well. Afternoon, Ben, and everyone in chat. Yes, I'm an old man. Big up to the final boss. Big up to the final boss, and he's acknowledging both of us. We've got the wonderful Jessie, who has renewed her membership from, of course, we have to remind you, the coffee capital of the north of England. For those that don't know, the coffee capital of the north of England. More coffee roasters per capita than any city in the north of England. So big up to Leeds, the coffee capital of the north. Big up to you, Jessie. Hearts all round. Hopefully you're well. We got Destiny 5s in the house saying big up everyone. And he's saying, of course, EEST Paris. Good to see you, buddy. Dale, brother. We got Daniel's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Saying big up. Good to see you, Daniel. and he's got a new name, hashtag Ange, the pub manager. And we got Stu Boy. It's happening again soon. Who would have thought? We got Lord Rodney Trotter. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, Plonker. And we got Daniel Sandoval, One Love. And we're joined by the sunny Nick Collison. And look at that sunshine behind him. And I can't see you. It's so
yeah, you sounded like KPV when you said that, Ben.
Big up KPV. Except no, he's still got us all blocked.
No, I'm not blocked anymore.
Are you not?
No,
he unblocked you.
I'm not blocked, but maybe everyone else is blocked. So, and I can't believe Brian's back in Canada. That's outrageous behaviour from him. So
yeah, I know.
He's back on his holiday, Nick. He's back on his holiday.
Yeah,
back
in America,
mate. I've been back in the country in November and April combined over a month, and we didn't get to meet up. It's shameless or shameful on both our parts.
Both shameless and shameful
on your part, not my part.
Yeah, all right. You know where I've been. You should have made the extra effort. Now you're forced to come to Toronto to see me and Bobby.
You are forced. We have the owners in the house saying afternoon all, and Jesse's putting a members chat in saying smash the likes. We have Manor Solomon is a big coffee drinker. Of course he is. We all are in this culture. We all are. Ben, I had no electricity for 12 hours yesterday. It was why you didn't bother me for an entire day yesterday.
Yeah, brilliant. Get more, cut the electricity out more in Spain.
The first thing I wake up to, other than my text from Mickey, is a message from Angus goading me about something. What did he send me today? Let's see what he said. I'm flaming Angus on the internet. I'm flaming Angus. Of course, the first thing, Tottenham are facing a prospect of having to sell to buy. So, Angus, you could have just said hello or good morning. Hopefully you're well. No, he has to attack me. It's not very
Angus,
nice,
I have to let you know, Angus, just because he sent that to me as well. You won't know this being a Filth fan. We hear that every single year. It's just it's just how soon does it come out? And during the season, this one is this is quite an early time to hear sell to buy. So we've broken our own record.
Yeah.
I mean, I must for Angus. Thank God you had a 12-hour power. Can you imagine having a 12-hour power outage during the semi-final of the European Cup?
I would be so mad.
Could you imagine in any country, like whatever, if it happened for us on Thursday in Canada and England or whatever, we would go nuts.
Indeed. I sent it to Daigle as well. We got Ian Ferguson's in the house saying death, taxes, and sell to buy. Big up.
Do you know what, Ben? Do you know what you did? Your mistake is letting Angus have your number. That's the mistake.
Well, do you know the thing that makes
Angus? It's great.
You know what made me laugh yesterday? When I touched down, I quickly checked YouTube and everything, and obviously all this news broke about the accounts and money wherever it is and sell to buy. And then I saw the We Are Tottenham TV update where we're looking at players like Jack Grealish apparently and Guehi again. Yeah, because we've got no money. Might not have European football, but Spurs will have sources and links going out.
It's because of that money from Romero coming in. Let's not beat around the bush, boys. Romero's going.
Joe, I spoke to Ben Daly yesterday, and this is no bullshit whatsoever. As you know, when you're leaving, when your plane starts getting ready to go on the runway and you're in the queue and you're waiting for the planes to come round.
Yeah, it's taxiing for takeoff.
So as you're taxiing round, I swear this is God's honest truth. I said it to Ben. As we are waiting, there's a British Airways plane and an Lao plane and British Airways. And then all of a sudden, there was a red and white checkered, you know, like when they've got the wrapping on the plane and it said Athletic.
Yeah.
And it was red and white square. It weren't a full-size plane. And then more rumours came out that I don't know. I got very concerned that Atletico Madrid's delegates may have been in London yesterday. And if they are, there's only one reason. I was thinking, who have they got in the Champions League? But it was like, well, no, they're out. They got knocked out by Real. They got knocked out a while ago. So it most definitely was an Athletic Madrid play. There's no doubt. It was the red and white checked kind of thing of the wrapping, had Athletic written in. So make of it what you will, but I saw it with my own eyes yesterday. And like I said, it weren't like a proper size plane. It weren't a private jet like they'd have their own runway, but it was 100 million% an Athletic Madrid, Atletico Madrid plane.
ITD.
Make of
well,
that.
you know what, Brian? I didn't see it with my eyes, so I don't believe a word you're saying.
Do you know what? Angus, right. No, but they wouldn't even take it.
They don't play in checks.
No, they don't play in checks. They've got but they have got Manchester, but they'd be in Manchester Airport. They wouldn't be in London.
Yeah.
So listen, there was a Spanish red and white, and it said Athletic.
Fake news. Fake news from Brian Daigle.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Fake news. Brian, that is a fake news, sir.
So
that's fake
like
news.
I said, no one does it with my own eyes. Ilana saw it with her
it's turned up. It's turned up from Atletico Madrid, so it might be Bilbao to a Spanish team.
It can't be. It won't be Bilbao. It won't be Bilbao. It won't be Bilbao.
You are more clickbait than Henry Wright.
No, don't, mate.
Why would it?
Mate, I don't think there's anything more clickbait than Henry Wright at the moment.
Well, he's got a few clickbait videos to do to get to Bilbao, to get to Bodo, isn't he? So you know.
You know what? Fair play to him. Fair play. We got June's in the house saying, "What's up, Ben? Good to see her. Nothing much. Enjoying the sunshine." We got Dan Payton's in the house. Good to see you, Dan. Saying, "I have to love Spurs transfer windows. Usual sell to buy rubbish. One top 10 richest clubs in the world."
And
I don't think so, Angus.
Transfer windows are not about who's coming in, who's coming out now. It is all about, and it's starting very, very soon, transfer buzzword and phrase bingo, which is what I have made the transfer windows all about for me now. It is all about the buzzwords. Sell to buy is an old classic.
Yeah.
I'm bringing out my own album. I'm noting them down all this time, and then I'm going to do now. That's what I call transfer buzzword and phrase bingo album.
Great stuff. We've got Daniel saying apparently Atletico Madrid are only willing to pay 40 million. They need to pay at least another 20. This is going to be a long summer with Romero because we're not selling for 40 million. He's worth a lot more than 40 million quid. Of course.
Ben, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't know why Spurs fans are going on. Listen, he is worth more than 40, but I don't know why Spurs fans are going on saying, don't sell him for 70, 80, 90. What's it matter what we sell him for? It's not going back into the team. It doesn't. I don't know why we're getting so transfixed on. Look at the wage bill that was cleared by 30 million. Has that impacted getting the wages and paying higher wages to get? No. I understand because of transfer value is what. Oh, you got a good deal, a bad deal. But I really don't care how much we get for him because I know we're not getting it. I know Spurs will use Danso. Spurs will use what's his name? Vuskovic, Phillips, Davies. Looks like he's staying another year. There won't be another defender coming in. They're all there. It'll be let's push this youth through. So I don't know why anymore. As Spurs fans, we are worried or care about the transfer value because the money doesn't go back into the club. It will just go forward to another. At least we tried. How many times have we seen players signed or sold for big money, and then their replacements come in at cheap, and hoping they get to the levels? So, if he goes for 40 million, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid would have pulled our pants down. But what impact? Won't matter. It's not going back into the team, and we all clearly see it.
We got Tom's in the house. Good to see you, Remy. Hopefully, I reckon it was Kidderminster. Big up, Kidderminster. If I wanted to see Spurs do something in the transfer window, I'd fire up FIFA. We're not selling Romero. We're buying Griezmann. That'd be an interesting one. An interesting one.
Of course we are.
That's an interesting one. Already bought his replacement, guys. Danso coming.
Exactly, Dan.
Facts, Brian. Best of luck Thursday night. You're going to need it. We're going to need it indeed. Doesn't matter. 40 million and Thomas Lamar would be fair. Okay. We got Jason Bell saying, morning all. We're selling Romero, Kulusevski, Basuma, and buying a bunch of teenagers with potential. It's the transfer buzzword bingo.
No, what we're doing, Ben, is what have we got until the 27th of May to renew our season tickets, and then after that there'll be no news.
Yeah.
Nick, you say like you've seen this before.
It's like I had a dream, and it's like Groundhog Day, and it happens every year, and it's just the same and the same and the same and the same.
I watched that movie last night, Groundhog Day. I did. I enjoyed it. It's a good movie.
Cool story, bro.
We're doing it again, Nick. We're doing it again.
We're doing it again. Like I was sat here arguing with Danny Kiriakou. He's like, if we go to Bilbao, you're coming. I said, Danny, I'm not coming. I said, I'm telling you now, I'm not coming. There's the 5% of me that wants to go because you just think, what if? But this football club, you know they'll let you down. You know they'll let you down.
I've been speaking with people because getting a flight to Bilbao now is so expensive. The only thing you can do,
500 quid, 600 quid or something.
You can fly to France or you can fly to Alicante and you can drive and you can save a lot of money on that. I've probably just increased the prices of flights to France and Alicante now.
You are the problem, Ben Kaufman.
You're welcome, airlines. You're welcome.
You're welcome, airlines.
Yes, good to see you, Hollywood Phil. Hopefully you're well. So under consideration, afternoon, sir. Afternoon all. And then they say Groundhog Day is repeated over 10,000 times. Thoughts? Yeah, sounds about right. Big up Bill Murray.
Yep.
Big up Bill Murray.
Yep. It's good times, mate. It's good times. It's all.
Do you know what? Do you know what's really funny, right? Wouldn't it be funny, right? We win 4 or 5-0 on Thursday, and going to Bodo, it's kind of done. And the people that have paid all that money to go to Bodo, it's like for nothing. It's quite funny, really.
Well, mate, you got to remember we were up against Dynamo Zagreb or whatever they were when their manager was in prison. When the fans went to Mura. It's not over till it's over with Spurs. It really isn't. And do you know what? The thing is, a lot of people, I'm getting really, really, really bad Leicester City vibes because do you remember when we lost 2-1, everyone's going, oh, they're so crap. We're going to beat them. We're going to beat them. And then as soon as we lost to them, oh, we've got so many injuries. Well, everyone's going so mad now about the players they've got suspended for the first leg.
Yeah.
If we don't smash it, and I mean smash it like unsaleable lead,
yeah.
Then what? Yeah.
And Angus has got a comment which is brilliant. It's a brilliant comment. Firstly, we've got Mario's good to see her. Good to see her. Get the ferry from Southampton straight to Bilbao, cheap as well. Even if you're still in Bodo. And my brother said yesterday the most expensive sandwiches he's ever bought were in Norway. £80 for 2 sandwiches and a couple.
Sorry, how much?
£80.
80.
80
for a sandwich.
For a couple of sandwiches and some road snacks.
What the hell was in the sandwich?
I don't know. But we've got Angus saying, do not underestimate Bodo. They've beat Ange before, and they absolutely have.
They've beaten some big teams to get where they are.
They've beaten some big teams and beaten who I thought was the favourite of the tournament. They beat who I considered the favourite of the tournament, and they massacred them on their home patch.
Yep.
So if we don't win, if we don't romp them in the first leg, I'm worried. And
I bet tomorrow after a dual preview.
Yeah. Being a Spurs fan, you always expect the worst. Should have come to me. I'd have sought him a couple of sarnies for 60 quid. We got Corey Boys in the house saying, lads, they've beaten Celtic 5-1 last time Ange played them. Bodo are not an easy team to play.
Nope.
Yeah,
nope, they're really not.
Team. It's not a foregone conclusion. And if Bodo have watched our games against some of the teams we've lost against, they would just repeat that tactics book.
It doesn't matter how many players you've got out. If you're playing the high defensive line and you get sprung, you're in trouble. Look at AZ Alkmaar in the second leg. Yeah. If they'd had a finisher, but we got through. I don't think 1-0 is a good enough result, buddy, Marius. I really don't.
No,
I think it needs to be 3. It needs to be 3, I think.
Yeah.
Mate, you know what, Nick? I said that about Frankfurt. I think it needs to be 4. I think it needs to be 4 just because can you imagine if it's 3 and they score a very, very early goal?
Yeah.
Like very early. And let's just say we're quite prone to that, aren't we?
Indeed. And let's not forget, guys, how the Frankfurt victory was fantastic. It was a fantastic performance in context of the rest of our season. But let's not forget, Christensen, their right back, could have scored at least 4 goals.
Yep.
And he bottled all 4 of them.
Yeah, wow.
If they if they get chances like that and they finish them, we will be given a hiding. So let's not be overconfident. Overconfidence is not a good thing to have anyway.
So before you bring up Dan Payton's brilliant comment, which is gospel, hope James Flower is in the chat, or if he's in the chat. I'm sorry, but all the players at Bodo will be just put pressure on Vicario. The second half, his distribution was utterly shambolic.
Yeah.
I don't and this is where I go on the recruitment with the data analytics. You want a guy that can play from the back, and you sign a guy that cannot play from the back. But then you sign a keeper that can play from the back, but his shot stopping isn't whether. Why didn't you just pay the money for a goalkeeper that is comfortable on the ball?
Here we go, James Flower. Daigle's going to bring up David Raya again.
No.
Mate, no,
listen. David Raya or no David Raya. I mean, David Raya didn't paint himself with glory or cover himself with glory with the Crystal Palace game. I'm not saying him necessarily. I'm saying why, if we're going down the data analytics and you want a goalkeeper that can play out from the back and be a great shot stopper, why did the data analytics only look at great shot stopping?
Yeah.
Why did we not look into one that could actually play with the ball comfortably at the back? You got to remember, when we signed Hugo Lloris, the goalkeeper of that time was a sweeper keeper.
Yeah, and he was the best.
And he was the best of the best. He was magnificent at it. His shot stopped. But then when it became the evolution of it and playing out from the back, shambolic. And then his shot stopping went down. Well, we didn't need it. We didn't need him to play out the back because we were playing in a Pochettino system which relied on us to boot the ball forward into the opposing team's half, and then we pressed them like buggery, and we did that sort of like we squashed them into their own half. So it was. I'm talking about in the latter years,
of course, but that was when because we didn't have Toby and Jan, so he couldn't distribute from the back. If he had Toby and Jan, he didn't need to distribute. He just give it to either Toby or Jan, and they were perfect. Or Walker or Rose who were playing out, or even playing out from the back. But it's just Lloris. Like we'd love if we had prime Lloris now, no one would touch him. As much as I really quite like Vicario, he doesn't touch prime Lloris. Prime Lloris is a much better goalkeeper than prime Vicario currently.
As I've said,
what is this prime Vicario? I haven't seen him.
I will say. I will stand by this. I think the last time we had a goalkeeper that was a great shot stopper and great with his feet was Paul Robinson.
He had some clangers though, didn't he, Aki?
No, he did after the Croatia game.
Yeah.
And the way one day Ramos treated him. But when we signed him and when he was at Leeds and when he first came, he was absolutely I love Paul Robinson. He's my favourite ever Spurs goalkeeper. I love him. His shot stopping was phenomenal. His distribution was incredible.
Yeah.
But then whatever happened in his career happened. Ramos, the Croatia goals we just mentioned. But that was the last one that could do both. All goalkeepers make clangers.
Yeah.
And there's no hiding for them when they do. But
saying that, Radic Cherney was not a bad goalkeeper. So he did have quite a good bit of Radic Cherney wasn't awful. He was very good at competition for Paul Robinson at the time. Probably Paul Robinson's best performance as a Spurs goalkeeper was in the Carling Cup final against Chelsea. He was magnificent that day.
He had a few. And I will say with Ronnie Schwartz, I also believe Ronnie Schwartz just said that I don't think Vicario has reached his prime yet. I don't dispute that, but I don't have any ideas what goalkeeper coaching does. But I would literally, if I was the manager, I would be working on Vicario's distribution hour after hour, day after day, as extra training. Surely, if you're playing from the back, you sit him down, or you're not sitting down, but you're like, right, we're going to work on pressing, we're going to work on putting pressure on you, and we're just going to work. You look at it, big up, Mark. You look at it in the Frankfurt game, he was hoofing everything. And I was like, thankfully, he's getting rid of everything. There's no pressure, there's no stress. And then you look at
an old school goalkeeper, isn't he, Aki? He's an old school goalkeeper. Yeah. He likes to scream at his defenders. If we had a we've got the right. I mean, we can talk about. I'm going to talk about Antonio Conte because he's 4 points ahead of Serie A with 4 games to go. So it looks like Napoli will get the Scudetto this year, and we saw it coming. We all saw it coming. We all bet on it, of him doing it. If we had Antonio Conte with Vicario, he would love him. He would love that style of goalkeeper. Also, do remember, just like people would say with Ange in his first season, Conte had to get rid of Osimhen, his star striker. And what he's done with Scott McTominay is incredible. He's made him Maradona, for God's sake. He's mate, literally. But you look at it, he had to get rid of his star striker and build Napoli. It's what winners do. Yeah. We got Graham Hill saying you are big up, Graham. Big up, Graham. Thank you, buddy. Toronto. Yeah, I'm back. I am back live in Toronto. But yeah, Antonio Conte, 4 points at the head of Serie A, 4 games to go. It was coming, wasn't it? It was always going to happen, wasn't it? This is what happens when you choose a top manager and you let him buy his own player. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. You find the first manager you ever back with the players he asks for, which he has. He's got all the players he asked for. Is Ange, who's the worst. Imagine Spurs were we all scoffed at buying a Lukaku, and yes, I don't think Lukaku's the best player in the world, but for an Antonio Conte system, Romelu Lukaku's the guy. Romelu Lukaku's the guy, and look what he's. The guy is who I was saying all last season, all last summer, and his name is Victor Gyökeres. Yeah. Oh yeah, and he's got rid of him in January. It's 2 star players. And thank you, Dan said it as well. Dan said as well. Completely forgot. So he's lost his 2 massive hitters. Yeah. Oh, I remember in the January window where it's hard to get players in, but PSG, funnily enough, who spend money, managed to get a star out of a title challenging team. Who'd have thought? Yeah, it's you back the right horse. You back the right horse, and this is what he does. He's brought in some very good players like Di Lorenzo from the Juventus. He brought in Spinazzola, the left back from Roma. Spinazzola's a great player. Had a bit of a tailing off of his career after that really bad injury at the Euros. I think it was an ACL injury he did at the Euros. He brought in solid players, and they're going to win the league. They're going to win the league, and it's going to be brilliant. That is what happens when you back the right horse with decent enough players that fit a system. Correct. Yep, I agree. But
Right, guys, I need to love you and leave you. It was only short, but I need to.
It was very sweet, though.
Pick up the YouTube Slayer.
Yeah.
I need to get rid of the rubbish behind me because there's a new barbecue behind me, as you can see.
Whoa.
Nice.
What brand have you gone for, Nick?
George Foreman, mate. George Foreman.
Oh.
In his memory. In his memory.
George Foreman 4-burner, mate.
Big up George Foreman.
Nick, see you later, brother.
I will speak to you later tomorrow. I might be able to join you tomorrow, Ben.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be a dual Tottenham on tour, and
you're going to be serious, so no, I won't join you. I'll be.
We'll see what happens.
I will be doing the watch along. Me and young Iggy are doing the watch along for Bodo, for Ben and Sim, and I might have to be professional because Ben called me earlier. I'll tell you the story quickly. Ben called me. He said, Barry, we might be the show might be sponsored. So, are you going to be able to read out the sponsor and be a bit more professional? I said, yeah, just get him to watch the first 5 minutes, and then after that, don't get him to watch. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, well, don't get any wine gums then.
Don't get any wine gums.
I might just do it just for old time's sake.
Well, I look forward to speaking to you both on Thursday.
No worries. See you later, Alligator and Angus. Just if you're gonna go through, can you just not do what you did and smash PSG like you smashed Real Madrid? Because I'm genuinely worried that Arsenal are going to win the Champions League.
Mate, Nick, I will say, can you imagine if we don't win the Europa League? If someone had said to you the worst season possible, Arsenal win the Champions League, Chelsea win the Conference Cup, and we can potentially finish 17th.
No. What happened is Chelsea will win, Arsenal win. I don't know who plays first and what have you, but then it comes down to us, and we could be the final team. So all 3 English teams win it. Yeah, we know the script. Well,
no, I think it will be us. It's Wednesday and Thursday and the weekend for the Champions League. So,
so we're first then.
I think we set the trend.
Okay. So.
And
they play 31st of May. I think ours is 1st of June. When is ours?
You're not even in the final yet, Angus. You're saying you're in the final.
Wednesday the 21st. And you're not even in the final. We're not in the final. But we should beat Bodo. If we don't beat Bodo...
Bring the banter on.
Well, it gets me an out of Bilbao because I don't think I can get out of not going. But there you go. Anyway, I better go because I'll be late.
You do that, Nick. See you later.
See you later, guys. Big up. Smash a like. Speak to you all later.
I will say in response to Angus, if you get fucking Gyökeres, I will go.
See you later, rats.
See you later, rat.
I will go nuts. If Phil pick up Gyökeres, I will go insane.
Allez, le bleu. Le bleu.
Is it tonight? Is it their game tonight or tomorrow night?
It's their game tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they're not even in the semi-final yet. Everyone, good to see a side dancer. Hopefully you're well, buddy. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully everyone is well. Hopefully everyone is smashing the like button. There are 40 of you in the audience so far.
Big up.
Thank you for everyone for joining today. It's always a fun day in the history of the Kauffie Company. We're here. We're chilling out. We are trying to spread all the vibes we can, and that's what we're here for. It's what we're here for. But Aki, what would you like to talk about?
Whatever you want, mate. Listen, I'm just going with the flow, mate. My brain is still trying to adjust and adapt. I'm exhausted.
Did you not get any sleep at all on the plane?
No, do you know what? I actually slept better than Ilana, and that's a very, very big rarity. I had a couple of hour-and-a-half power naps, but then when we got back, I slept really well in England, really well, like through the night, everything. But I woke up on a few occasions here, but I had to be up for 7 a.m. for the
pre-op, yeah.
Yeah, but mate, do you know what? Talking of the pre-op, they sent me the message via like a secure website for obviously medical reasons, or whilst I was in London, saying that we'll blah, 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 7 o'clock on the 29th of April. And I reread the entire message wrong. I thought they'd put my operation forward to April the 29th. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? It's May the 12th. I'm in London till April the 28th. What the hell are you doing? You cancelled on me once, blah, blah, blah. Then I was like, I reread it a couple of days later. It was a phone consultation and a pre-op at 7 a.m. Not my op had been moved to 7 a.m. on the 29th. I did my absolute bollocks in this email response. Thankfully, they didn't get to see it, and I gave them forewarning. If you do see it, take no notice of it. I've just seen a comment in the chat.
Yes, I know the one you're talking about.
I am exhausted. I will be going back to bed to adjust to this time zone in this foreign climate, in this new country that I'm visiting.
Yes. But good to see you, Smithy. Hopefully you're well.
Yeah,
it was great to see you last week.
Smithy. It was good to see him last week.
Always great to see Smithy. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny.
It was not funny.
For me, it was funny. It was funny because he came out all giving it the big and singing bloody Arsenal, and then the guy got trounced. So,
mate, whether he got trounced or not, that would not happen with Liverpool and Arsenal.
No,
Liverpool and United. It wouldn't happen with Liverpool and Everton. It wouldn't happen with Rangers and Celtic. It wouldn't happen with Real Barca. It wouldn't happen with AC Milan and Inter Milan. It wouldn't happen with Lazio and Roma. It wouldn't happen.
It definitely wouldn't happen with Lazio or Roma.
It wouldn't happen anywhere. And the very fact, and they put the roof red, is a petty thing. But mate, if I was owner of Tottenham Hotspur, and someone says we were renting this out and the guy's going to come out and you're going to be blasting your worst enemy's tune, I'll be like, you're fucking not.
Yeah.
I'll be like, absolutely.
Like Majestic refused to play it. Big up to Majestic. I've got loads of time for Majestic. He refused to play it.
I was like, literally, I would be like, if I was owner of Tottenham, I'd be like, no, thank you. Not happening in a million years. Do you reckon if the boxing was at the Filth, and that boxer said, I want his cards of glory, Tottenham Hotspur, they'd go, okay.
Yes.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They'd be like, this club stands for something. There are things we'll do. Mate, I don't care if mate, not a chance if Arsenal rented that stadium out, would they allow glory.
I don't think they've got a choice if they've rented the stadium out.
There are things they can say they can veto, and one of the things that would be vetoed immediately if I was owner is not a chance, whether it be the West Ham I'm forever blowing bubbles, whether it be blowing Chelsea's whatever they fucking sing, not a chance.
What's Chelsea's stupid song? It's the
not a chance would I have that bellowing outside with my sound system. Not a chance. Not a chance.
We'll get them back. We got Bobby. It's Bobby K. It's Bobby K. Good morning, Benny, Brian, and the coffee crew. Brian, welcome to Canada. Hope you have a great trip / holiday. I just added the holiday in there because I know that's what he's thinking. But good to see you, Bobby. Hopefully you're well. Just made my first crack of the year. Bring on the summer, indeed.
Hopefully I see Bobby on Thursday at the yard and I can tell him all about my trip back home.
Yeah.
And everything and what my plans are for this visit. What goals I want to accomplish. Big up, Dave.
Good to see you, Dave. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well. It pissed a load of people off, and I don't blame them. Walked past the stadium Thursday Eve, and you wouldn't even know it was football. Ben versus Eubank everywhere. Yeah, but that's what it is. It is what it is.
That part, listen, I've said it before. I wish that ground was used for anything and everything every single day of the week, apart from the day before a game and the day of the game. So it would generate money to go back into the club. But it doesn't. So I understand the hype around it when they need to maximise attention. But like I said with the Romero thing, the money's not going back into the club. They'll siphon it into all those different accounts registered at Company House.
Yeah.
And we'll get none of it. So it's just pathetic. But no way, like I said, no way would any other big club allow the anthem of their biggest rival to be played, whether it was rented out or not.
But it's fine, Aki. We got a sell to buy. So we're embarrassing ourselves for the cash, and we can't even buy top players.
Yep. We have to. That makes it even worse. Yeah, we have to sell to buy.
Yeah, we have to sell to buy, even though we're grifting for all this money. But it's all these funny things. But it's all good, really. It's all good. If we're not embarrassing ourselves on the pitch, we're doing it off the pitch. That's what we like to do here at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's a fun time to be alive. But is there anything people in the chat would like to talk about? I'm opening this up to the chat. We got 41 of you in the audience today. And bring something up. Bring something. What do you guys want to talk about? Big up the Amstels. Big up the Amstels. Levy is a gooner. Good to see you, Archer. Hopefully you're well. It's death a time to be alive. Indeed. Sell the French baguette from the French baguette.
It's
he's injured. He's injured.
Has he been ruled out for Thursday?
Yes, he's still got a foot injury.
It's one of those. It's worse than first feared.
Yeah. Yes, there is a protest planned for Crystal Palace.
Yes.
We have a Crystal Palace.
There are more plans. I will say Change for Tottenham are doing something on their YouTube channel tonight. Let me get the thing. I'll put the link in the and Jay wants to do another thing on Tottenham on tour. There are plans as well for throughout the summer. So just keep an eye on them. It's very important that this carries on during the summer, especially with the we can't what's it called? We can't let this slide during the summer. With this all sell to buy and everything that's going on, we can't let things slide. So hopefully they've got plans for more things to happen. I believe there will be.
Indeed. And although he's not streaming at the moment, if you are living under a rock, please give the Free Spurs buyers a like and a subscribe because they're the funniest. Is the Palace game altered because they're in the FA Cup final? No, it is not. No, it is not. I know we asked Aston Villa if they wouldn't mind moving our game with them an extra day because of the game, and they told us to fuck off because why would they move a game that people, because they actually do care about their fans organising trips to go up. So there we go. The protests are all we have left of Tottenham. The protest is the best day out going. Let's organise a Tottenham tour with the Scotland Yard. Yes. I do like a trip to the Scotland Yard. I do like a trip to the Scotland Yard. They ought to plan something for the final game on. Yeah, especially. Yeah, that's actually a plan. That's a plan.
Well, what's the plan?
You can send this to Change for Tottenham's Instagram account. I'm not in any position of power. I'm just a man who sells coffee and sometimes talks bollocks.
Yeah, there's an active one. I believe there will be another protest. I don't know how big. It also depends. You got to remember, potentially, that game could come after a Europa League trophy, where obviously everything will be put to one side for obvious reasons. I think a lot of it depends on what happens in the semi-final. Obviously, there's a massive one. And this time they are planning stuff in the stadium, and I hope so many people don't do what they ask and don't go back in at the start of the second half or go out and support local businesses. But they want to do the stay in the bars like Manchester City did when we saw that, and Manchester City did it in the thousands. Let's see what our fan base does.
We got James Flower. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well. Brian was saying about David Raya and how much we need
I didn't say about David Raya. You brought Raya up, but there you go. This just goes to show Ben Kaufman will throw anyone under a bus. What I did say, James, because I will say it to your face in all seriousness and in a joke as well, is Bodo Glint, all they need to do is put pressure on Vicario because of our shitty defence. His distribution is what I said is appalling. And the main thing I was getting at with that weren't even about Vicario. It's about our data analytics that only look for a great shot stopper, not for someone that can play out from the back when we're going to constantly play out from the back.
It's not Vicario's fault, is it? Let's call it as it is. It's not Vicario's fault that we've got a back four that's not a back four. We've got no protection for the back four, so Vicario is having to face 15 shots a game.
Yeah, but no, what I will add to that, where you're right with that, that doesn't knock on his passing ability.
It does, because the way the team is set up.
No, listen. It doesn't matter whether he's got a shit back four, which he has, which are, or not a shitly coached back four that are always out of positions. That does not affect getting rid of the football and being able to pass the football. That does not. You should still be able to pass the football. As a footballer, you should be comfortable with your feet. Obviously, a goalkeeper is not going to be as comfortable as an outfield player. But I'm sorry, his distribution as a goalkeeper, especially when you've been here for 2 years and playing from the back.
But it's got worse. It was good at the start of last season. It was very good.
Okay, so if it's getting worse, you would say
it's got worse.
Listen, again, I've said
the car really could have got on quick enough.
As I've said again, the coaching or lack of it is obviously another major issue. But Jay, I'm sorry, Jade. I love him as a shot stopper, but as a distribution, he is absolutely woeful. Woeful at distribution. You can shake and shrug your head as much as you want.
Okay. Let me give you some stats now before you kind of make that final opinion. Yeah, because I want to just give you a few stats.
The stats are based. Stats don't mean shit.
Before he had his ankle injury, he had 100% pass accuracy. Long passes, short passes, everything was 100% pass accuracy.
Not a chance.
Before he had his ankle injury, I swear to you, on my life, he had 100% pass accuracy. For me personally, I think it's the system. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that his strongest thing is his passing, but if you look at that game against Liverpool, Sunday, the pass that he made tried to make was splitting the defence and the midfield. It was almost like a right midfield position. He should never be asked to do that. I think I've only ever seen maybe 2 or 3 goalkeepers actually be able to play that sort of pass, but yeah, he's trying it. So for me, personally, I think that he shouldn't be made to do that kind of thing. I think the moment you get a proper manager with proper coaching and proper defensive shape, he will lose all of that responsibility and you'll see his passing accuracy go up tenfold.
Jay, but what I will respond to that is if we look at the
You don't need to respond. You say, okay, just say yes, okay, I'm sorry.
No, I will respond. I will respond. As I will respond. If you big up Colin Crossamano, brother, what I will say is if you look at the last 3 Premier League games, Liverpool, even Gary Neville was saying his distribution, some of it, and it's not just his distribution, it's when he gets the ball, taking an extra touch and heaping pressure on himself for overhitting his first touch and just trying to dawdle on the ball, made mistakes. Notts Forest made mistakes. Wolves made mistakes. Mate, I will stand proud with you. His shot stopping is exceptional. His shot stopping is incredible. But again, because Ben likes to throw people under the bus for clicks and likes, is what he does now.
Yeah.
Is as I said as well.
Okay, I'm honest about it.
As I said as well, is surely if we are going to be playing from the back, you need a goalkeeper that is comfortable on his feet. And I'm sorry, Vicario is not comfortable on his feet. He's not.
Could it be, again, like I've said, I don't think his strongest point is playing out from the back. I agree with you there. But could it not be, one, confidence? Because in the last 4 to 5, 6 games, it's been 15 times worse than it has ever been. No one was ever actually picking this apart sort of 10 games ago. It's been recently. And like I said, for me personally, I do believe it's positioning, like taking an extra touch. Why is he taking an extra touch? He's taking an extra touch because there's no available pass. There's no actual option. So he's taking another touch. If there was options standing there, he would just knock it off easily. The reason he's taking an extra touch for me is because he's looking for the right pass. He's looking for somebody open. So I think it all comes hand in hand, and it all kind of links a perfect circle. I'm not saying that he's amazing with his feet, but I am saying this system and confidence is definitely having an effect on how he's playing at the moment.
I'll come back to you on that one as well, James, because what pissed me off about it as well, and this may be not a Vicario thing, this may be a coaching, this may be a whatever. Against Eintracht Frankfurt in the away leg, and I was with Ben doing the 9-yard watch along, then in the studio, I was saying, do you know what? Seeing Vicario, I'd rather Vicario kick it out long, and it was going out for throw-ins a lot of the times, but further down the pitch towards the halfway line or around there or in their half, and alleviating any kind of possible danger or pressure on him. And then in the league games, he goes back to doing this. I'd rather he kick it out like that and just, if in doubt, kick it out or do whatever and alleviate the pressure up there. It's like you're doing it in Europe. Like I said, I think apart from his distribution, Vicario is a great goalkeeper. Very happy. Like, can we get better? Probably, but it means spending money.
Right. James is right. Before he got that ankle injury, his distribution was almost 100%. It was one of the highest goalkeepers. We had, at one point, the two highest goalkeepers for pass completion in Europe in Vicario and Kinski. We had two of them.
Kinski's played 3 games, but for
Sparta Praha, his a pass is a pass at the end of the day. Yes, he's not playing in a top league. He's playing in the Czech league, and it's not the best. But it's still at 100. It was black and white stat. It's got his distribution before that injury was very good, and since he's come back, the team has fallen off a cliff.
So whether it's Vicario or the coaching staff then as well, because they did it at Wolves. They did it at Wolves. They did it at Wolves. They did it at Forest. They're doing it at Liverpool. Every single time Vicario gets the ball, the opposing fans are like, oh, and heaping the pressure on him.
I'd add to that as well. It's not just Vicario, it's our whole back line. If you look at the teams that press our back line, you're true because I've seen a few things. Wolves did it fantastically. The moment we got the ball in the back line, they were hustling, and they won it back immediately. So again, you can't tell me that Romero's bad on the ball. Romero's fantastic on the ball. But he's been bad on the ball. So for me, listen, I may be wrong, and in a year's time, we may be saying Vicario has to go. But for me personally, I think he's not bad at playing out from the ball, and his stats did say that up until about 10 games ago. I don't think Romero's bad at on the ball, but again, his stats now are saying they're awful, but then before they were fantastic. I just think that this whole team has lost patience with Ange, and they're giving up. I mean, even James Maddison, he doesn't defend Ange anymore. He doesn't say anything anymore. He just says, like, it's us versus them. There's us versus them. That could be a massive insight, as in it's the players versus the managers. It could be the players versus the fans. It could be anything. So for me, yeah, I said it on a show the other day. I'm not going to hold anybody else now. I'm not going to judge anybody anymore until the manager's gone and we've got a different coaching. That includes Dominic Solanke. That includes players like Tell. It includes Odegaard. It includes Porro again, because I think that they're being made to do an unthankful task, an impossible task, and they don't believe it's going to work in the first place. So,
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, James. I think if we got Thomas Frank in, Vicario's distribution issues are done. They're gone. They won't. It's a completely different. It depends what manager comes in. It's like we said, like people have mentioned with Solanke. Who'd have thought the guy that scored most Premier League headers last season, putting a great cross to him and give him service, he'll score a header like he did at Liverpool? Who'd have thought? Yeah. Who'd have thought that if you actually crossed the ball to him in open play? Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of his performances since coming back have been poor. I love his hold-up play. I love what he's doing, but he's never in the goal-scoring position. But who would have thought? If you give him quality crosses,
like we don't cross, it's really funny because I believe the manager is trolling us. I think he's trolling us. So we don't cross at all the entire season. We don't cross balls, despite the fact we've got Solanke who had not very good in the Premier League, but in the Championship, decent stats with his head. And Richarlison, who's one of the best headers
in the
ball.
Premier League last season, Dominic Solanke was the highest goal scorer of headers in the entire Premier League last season.
But the one game we decided to start lumping balls in the box and start crossing was against Nottingham Forest, who are the best headers of the ball defensively in the league by far. He's trolling us. You don't do that. I think that one game you don't do that.
I think that was for me, that was the clear sign of A, the players not playing for him, and B, that the coaching is awful. Because what I saw personally is Nottingham Forest said, right, you all stay central, you're all going to pack the midfield. Okay, well, we'll drop deep and give you the ball. You can have the ball out wide. The moment the ball went out wide, we didn't have a clue what to do, which is why I personally believe we was crossing the ball. So for me, again, I don't know if he's trolling us or if he's just that stupid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm gutted I didn't see you, Brian, mate. I'm really gutted I didn't get to see you. But he looked like he was having an amazing time. And because I go on holiday next week, I've been burying myself in work a little bit, to be honest, to try and make sure I've got money for one more way.
You know what, mate? It's been such a... Thankfully, I had to come home for a lot of family celebrations, a lot of them. 3 birthdays, 4 birthdays, including my mum, the bar mitzvah, everything. It was so family-centric with so much going on days before and a Jewish festival, whatever. I didn't even get to see people that lived in London that I wanted to see as often as possible, or hardly at all, if anything. So
I still got to flame your family, though, Brian. You had a bar mitzvah without an ABBA megamix.
Well, no, the reason was
uncalled for.
No. Do you know what?
It's uncalled for.
Everything has changed so much. Like when I went to go get my suit from my dad's shop and everything, I was like, right, I need to get a nice shirt and tie. They're like, well, no ties, open collar. I was like, okay. But obviously, our age, everyone got a bar mitzvah party the next day. But this time, it's so changed. My sister and my brother-in-law said to Isaac and Noah, you could either have the big party on the next day where we'll have a massive banquet and sit there. You know what permission is like a proper formal black tie event with band, music, blah, 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 blah. Or you can go on any holiday you want. And remember, a bar mitzvah party is expensive, but when you're saying a holiday wherever you want, before you even talk about accommodation and everything, it's 7 return flights.
Yeah.
Before you even start talking about anything. And they said they wanted to go on. I can't remember the name of this cruise ship. It was the 2nd biggest cruise ship in the world, but now it's the 3rd, I believe. And they wanted to do that. So they're doing a 2-week from America Caribbean tour.
That's, what's the 3rd biggest one? Wonder of the Seas is the biggest. Then it's... I can't remember.
So they're doing that. Then they're having an extra 10 days in Miami or Orlando, whatever. So... they weren't going to have both because, like I said, it's 7 return flights. I think it's 2 separate rooms. Yeah. My sister and my brother-in-law need to be apart during the cruise so they can get the rooms to fit the kids and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Then they're staying in an Airbnb in Orlando for 10 days. Yeah. And it's one of those villas with swimming. So they're like, you're either having one or the other. I don't know how
my rabbi does it, Aki, because you're saying 7 return flights. My rabbi has got 12 kids. He's got 12 kids.
It's insane. So when you look at it, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You never know. They might have an ABBA mega mix whilst they're on the cruise. They might have an ABBA mega mix.
If there's no ABBA mega mix, was it really a bar mitzvah? Let's face it.
Well, well, do you know what? If Joseph decides to have the party or Levi rather than the holiday, we'll have to double up with the ABBA mega mix at the beginning and the end.
Absolutely.
And I will invite. If I know there's a party, James Flower and Nick are getting invited, especially just so they can be part of the. It'll only be the 3,000th time I've heard the ABBA mega mix at a Jewish function. Why not? Why not? But yeah, that's why they didn't have the. That's why they didn't have a bar mitzvah party and no ABBA.
So I posted a poll on the Kauffie Company today, and I asked a question, and it was a question as follows before we end the show. where was England's first ever coffee shop, first ever coffee house? And the answers are as follows. I want everyone in the chat to either go to the poll. I'm going to give you the answer anyway, so it doesn't matter. But where was the first ever coffee shop in the UK? Without Googling, you're not allowed to Google it.
You didn't give us multiple choice. No, you didn't give us multiple choice.
I did give you.
Oh, okay.
I did give you multiple choice. The answers are Oxford, London, Leeds, and Manchester.
After what you said earlier, I'm gonna go Leeds.
Okay.
I was thinking Leeds. I would like to think Oxford and London is probably the obvious ones. So that's probably why I'd deter against Oxford or London. And as Brian said, Leeds, I'll go Manchester.
And the answer is the first ever coffee shop was in Oxford in 1650. In 1650. And it was established as the Angel Coaching Inn by a man called Jacob the Jew. That was his name. So the first ever coffee shop.
Is that his real name or is that a nickname?
That was his name, Jacob the Jew. That was his name. Because remember, the Jews didn't have surnames back in those days. So well done to Jacob for opening the first ever coffee shop. And the first ever coffee shop was made by a Jewish man. So there you go. There you go.
You know what? If everyone, when they say you learn something new every day, to the 40 people watching and the two of us that were guessing, if someone had said to me that's what I would have learned today as what my one new thing, yes, I would have said,
I'm going to do a few more of these because I really enjoyed it. But it was the first ever coffee shop in England. And
I'm going to go to the poll now and vote Oxford.
Yes. Specialising in coffee and chocolate delicacies because drinking chocolate was on the rage in the 1600s. And yeah, without further ado, that is time to end the show. Flower Power, when can we next find you on a show?
I don't know, to be honest. Like I said, I was gutted not to meet Brian and you guys and at the protest, but I fly on Thursday, so I'm trying to. When you're sort of like self-employed, you obviously go away for 2 weeks, you don't get any money, and obviously my partner doesn't get any money because she's self-employed. So I'm kind of trying to make up for sort of two of us for 4 weeks. So yeah. I don't really know. It'll be kind of a hello, I'm in the chat, can I pop on kind of thing.
Yeah.
James, where are you going on holiday?
I'm going Rhodes for 2 weeks.
Oh, lovely, buddy. Enjoy.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, it sounds like a real pain.
Yeah, I will try my best, mate.
When does it go? Thursday?
Yeah, I'll fly Thursday lunchtime. We get there Thursday evening, and then it's a 40-minute drive to the hotel, and there's an Irish bar, so I'm hoping to get the second leg of the game in, and I'm there for 2 weeks. So if we go through, I'm there for the final.
Mate, you know the most annoying thing is if we get to the final, I cannot go to the Scotland Yard to watch it.
Why?
Because I would have had my nose surgery, and unless I've got my Kulisevsky mask on or anything, I've now had 4 scaffolding poles cut, or not but you know, like with my nose up and everything. And can you imagine if we score and there's 400 people and we all start jumping and I just can't take the risk. So unless I get a Kulisevsky mask, I won't be going anywhere near the yard for the final. But I will say,
joining the KDL.
I will say, if we do get to the final, maybe I shouldn't go because the last massive game that I didn't go to the yard to, and it was because I came very close to drinking and I need to stay away from pubs, not that the yard would serve me, was the Ajax Mora 3-2.
Yeah, stay away.
Maybe. But then I could say I did go to the yard for the Euros final against Spain. So it's do I think with my Spurs hat on, or do I think it's now what? No, but I won't if I can't get a thing for my.
Of course. If you can go. There's no room for superstitions. But thank you. When are Tottenham on tour next stream?
Well, hopefully we'll do tomorrow. We'll do the joint one for the pre-match for the semi-final.
We can do that. But
so tomorrow.
Thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Kauffie Company and support a small business on its journey. Have a great rest of your day. Flower power, catchphrase.
Oh, Jesus.
I was going to say the original, but I'm going to. This is going to be a nice one, and that's just have faith in Vicario.
And thank you all so much. Bucky, take it away.
And as always, leave you out and you out. I can't think of something to say about Vicario's distribution.
But thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always,
come on, PSG.
What the cough is brewing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Ciao for now.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned where I had sometimes played chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score.